Is this even working? I have no idea. I'm just trying here. Bum, bum, bum. Hey! This is really my first stream. I have no idea if it's working or not. I guess it is, because people are chatting. Can you even see like the can you even see the game? I'm not sure if you can. Huh, that's pretty cool. This was easier than expected. Merry Christmas, I guess, because it is Christmas. Can you like hear me and stuff as well? This is awesome. Oh, cool. Hope you're all having a good Christmas. I'm just funnily going around working with Unreal, and I thought like, fuck it, I'm just gonna set up some basic streams, see if people join me. Not sure how long I'll keep going, but anyway, I started on a new project, so I thought, frick, I'm just gonna go ahead and stream. Have you played Hades? I just finished Hades, and I'm like, yeah, I want to create a game like Hades, so that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm just gonna work on it. You too. Happy holidays. Not sure really what we should set up. I'm doing some basic level design here in like my starting zone. I'm like, you should be with your families now. I just made a bunch of recordings for the FPS or third-person shooter tutorial series as well. So that's what I've been doing all day. I'm just gonna grab a beer. 1 second. Beer time. I'm not sure what I should do. It's easier to do tutorials because then you're so goal oriented. You proclaim to yourself what you're gonna do in that specific video, and then you just get to it. But when you just sit in the editor and like, I'm gonna do stuff, you don't really know what you want to do. But I guess we'll just do some level design for now, because I feel like that's what I wanna finish first. Or that's actually the fun part as well. Current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. This is like a new project I started a few days ago, because I finished Hades, and I was like, yeah, I want to do a game like that with co-op. So this is what I get so far. Got some basic attack. We got some good movement. It's kind of like Dark Souls-ish movements. We also got our controller set up so we can play with the controller. And I feel like my other project I spent a bunch of time, and I'm gonna keep doing that as well, but it's more a PC game, but or like keyboard, but I want to make a game that is very controller friendly as well, because I like playing with the controller as well. So we have these rooms here. So this is a starting area, then we get to spawn into a random room, which is kind of Hadesy. We get to the next room. Yeah, it's not super nice at this point, but you get the picture. And then you're gonna be able to play with a bunch of other characters and with your friends, because it's a multiplayer game as always. And we'll see how far it goes. but I think I'm gonna set up, yeah, just do some level design. And the desktop audio is not working though, right? Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Now I'm officially a streamer. Awesome. An influencer even. That's me. Classic. So let's create a torch. That's the first thing we want to do. And we need static mesh, which is gonna be, I'm gonna do this one as the master. And a particle. Do we have a fire? We do have a fire. That's a big fire. And what else do we need? I'm fairly sure I have some coal stuff somewhere. We need a light. That's too yellow. Something like that. Do 3 concurrent viewers. Whoa, that's a big stream. Is there no way that I can see, like, I'm very new at this streaming thing. I feel like I should be able to see like when people connect and not, but I can't really do that. Or it doesn't show up in the YouTube streaming video at least. I'm not sure. Also it says the stream current bitrate is too low. Yeah, it's fine. We are gonna do the environment actor. We're gonna remove these. Yeah, that's fine. But this one should be bigger. Or actually it shouldn't. But this one will. Maybe I should stream music as well. I guess that's what most streamer does. Oh, it's very yellow. Yeah, it's super trial and error. It's Christmas in Sweden. We celebrate Christmas on the 24th, not the 25th. I lived in London before, and that was always 25th, and that almost made my head weird because I feel like it should be 24th. But today is like the day that people usually celebrate with their families, but I don't really care for that. And tomorrow is like the 25th is like the party day, so tomorrow is probably gonna be some going out for some beers with friends and stuff. But today is like the family thing, so probably people will start gaming soon. And apparently fireworks is a thing here. I didn't know that, but they do that all the time now. And yeah, no level design lessons or whatsoever. Or like I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on level design, and like GDC talks and stuff like that. And I still feel it's one of the hardest parts. But I mean, just pretty much steal stuff from other video games. That's pretty much what I do. I just bring up, like I recently played, let's see, I played through what's it called? I have it somewhere here. I played through Divinity Original Sin, or I started playing it with a couple of friends, and like whenever I play a game, I just screenshot a bunch of stuff that I think is cool. So like, okay, here's just a random screenshot from Divinity. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's probably gonna pop up on the screen soon. And I just look at like this, and then I have. So whenever I like play games, I just try to have a bunch of screenshots from Dark Souls and from whatever, and I just trying to screenshot cool stuff and just take inspiration from that. Take inspiration / steal from that. 7th of January. That's late, man. So you celebrate Christmas after New Year's? That's weird. Or perhaps nice, because New Year's is the funny thing, so that's what you want to do first, I guess. So yeah, makes sense. Oh. And yeah, Hades obviously as well. It's like such cool level design and everything. The art style is amazing, so I like watch a bunch of that, screenshot a bunch of that. But this is looking good. I think I want to bring these ones a little bit closer to create some kind of ledge here. For some background visuals, if that's even noticeable from here. It is, so we can create maybe some delete the walls, and we're gonna steal the walls from here. Just gonna put it down. Pray, okay, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this Christmas, I feel like Epic Store is amazing because they just give you a bunch of free stuff. And I mean, like, sure, I buy a lot of stuff from there, but I've gotten plenty more stuff for free than what I actually buy. And I mean, I've spent money on models and stuff like that quite a lot, so I'm just purely amazed on how much they actually give away for free. To be honest, like when I started doing game dev, I started with Unity, and I just like happened to come across Unreal some way, and I just noticed that they were giving away so much stuff for free, so I was like, no, I can't miss this. And I started playing around with the Paragon characters because they were free and really cool, and that just made me get into Unreal more and more. So I feel like they have a good tactics. I've noticed like they do give away more free stuff in Unity now as well. Okay, so that's looking nice. We can see it in the background. We should have some lights here as well. Let's go back to Omelet. Epic is just epic. Yeah. Epic is actually epic. No, I'm just amazed. And it's like, if you watch, like, they have so much good stuff because of Fortnite. Actually, is in terms, like, I don't play Fortnite, but in terms of the way the game is actually developed and the performance of the game and everything, I feel it's just simply amazing that it works as well as it does. And they have so much resources from that they share, like, for free, and they have talks where they talk about how they set it up and everything, and it's just amazing, all of it. So Epic is really epic, yeah. And I mean, just the mega grants as well. At some point I'll probably apply for a mega grant when I get one of my projects to that point. But I got the standard issue with, as all developers have, is like way too many projects going at once, and you get tired of them and you just keep creating new ones and whatever. Oh yeah, I need to move these walls forward a bit. What about you? Are you creating some games? Or just playing around in the editor? I mean, you can get far from just like playing around. You don't even need to have like a goal to actually make something. I feel like you will probably end up with a good deal of experience no matter what you do. Here we go. We have some nice background visuals. We should have some lights over here. Maybe not these torches though. They're a little bit too big. Let's just try see how it looks. If I just place a bunch of them here. That's all right. Fortnite is the first place in Pornhub. I feel like Pornhub have a bunch of weird stuff on it. I read about this, I think it was like an Asian teacher who started doing math stuff on Pornhub because there were more viewers on Pornhub actually watching math lessons than on like the platform he was actually on. And also like, because they censor math lessons in some places because they don't want, I'm not sure why, but they didn't censor Pornhub, so you could actually upload like lessons from stuff there, which is pretty funny. You're not an indie dev if you don't get projects. Yeah, I feel like you stop being an indie dev as soon as you actually release something. Then you're no longer indie. It's, as you say, it's like you're an indie dev if you never release something and just keep doing new projects all the time. Ah, yeah, that's cool. Have you played like Alien Swarm? It's like the most classic. Should probably be one of the most played games ever because it's free and it's actually awesome to just jump in with your friends a little bit. And I mean, like alien space shooters, that will always work. That's like the one thing that will never stop working. Maybe we should have some normal torches. I must have a normal torch somewhere. Maybe Maybe it's a bit too dark over here. This is the one I wanted. I think this one has some cool stuff in it, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh no, it's the entire thing. Those are cool though. How does it look? It's fine. Maybe one of those up here. Not too many lights though. Ah yeah, Resident Evil classic. I'm not. I think I've like started around 10 projects that are like Resident Evil. It's because like whenever you play those games, you really love them, and they're so amazing. And to be honest, like I feel like those games, if you make a single player third-person shooter or first-person shooter, I mean, it's not that complicated. I feel to actually make. And the Souls series, obviously, as you can see, is like half of my tutorials and videos are from Souls-inspired League combat games, and I got a bunch of those going as well. And it's like Souls is like unbeatable. Obviously, I'm so excited for Elden Ring. I'm calling Elden Ring right now as the best game ever made. Like, okay, I just played Divinity Original Sin 2, and it's actually really good. So that's also, I'm actually playing it right now with my flatmate. So we haven't finished it, we just started, but it's like you can feel instantly, it's so good. We're gonna do a standard torch. This looks good. We need point light can be way lesser. Yeah. Have they said they will do a Resident Evil 4 remake? I mean, Resident Evil 4 was I think it was the first, is it 4 or 5 that is the classic co-op? I think the 4 is the first one that was like super co-op-y, wasn't it? That was really good. Oh yeah, awesome. Just glad to help if you watch the tutorials. Yeah, I mean, I will get, yeah, I mean, I will probably get fired from my work when playing Elden Ring or something, because I'm gonna play to death. I think these are too bright. Let's do these instead and see how these looks. To move a little bit from it. I mean, yeah, that's nicer. That's good. I like that. That's nicer. And we can actually do, I think it's a bit dark, so we could just do a normal point light, right? To brighten it a little bit. Let's just see how that looks. Yeah, that's nice. That's looking better. Hi Fender Benz. Nice to see you in my first stream ever as well, and just glad that you love the tutorials. I'm gonna keep doing a bunch of them because I really enjoy it. Never a team, no. Always alone. I feel like I've talked to some people about doing some teamwork, and I could do that, I think, but like in the end I just love the freedom of being able to just decide things on my own and not really have to check things with other people all the time. Yeah, over the shoulder. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Resident Evil 4 is like, I still remember playing it split screen. I think it's like, was it 4 or was it 5 that was in that started in Resident Evil 4 is the village-ish one, right? And 5 is where you start in like Africa, I want to say, but maybe it's not Africa. Both of those games are really good. I actually haven't played Village because I didn't really enjoy the last one, the one before Village, the first person one. So I haven't really gotten around to play Village, but Village looks more shooty because what's it called? No, I'm not sure what it's called. The one in yeah, you know which one, the swamp thingy. That is more horror one. I like that. I didn't really like it, so I ended up not playing that one. Maybe it's 7. Yeah, is it that one? Let me see. Biohazard. It's called Biohazard. Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't really, because I want it to be more shooty, I guess. Or I can really see why people enjoy it. Also, I didn't finish it, to be honest. But it's like obviously not a bad game. That's not what I'm saying. But for me, I think the other ones are a bit more action oriented, and I think I like that maybe a little bit more. And Village looks more, actually, also a lot more action. Yeah, exactly. It's horror game focused, and it's like I do like horror games, but I never can finish them because I always get too scared. And but like I tried playing Outlast and I tried playing all those games, but I never finish. No, exactly. It feels, yeah. I mean, it's a good game, and the controls are nice, and the feeling is nice as always. But by the looks of it, I think I will enjoy Village more. So as soon as it's so expensive though. It's like $70 or something. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a super Steam sale or something. Okay, the lighting here is better now. Not really sure if we want to maybe give it a little bit of a blue tint. Could be nice. But we have the green down there. But maybe I'm not sure about the green one though. Let's try to set the, what's it called? It's exponential height fog, right? So let's do it a bit more bluish. See if that's nicer. Yeah. I'm not sure, blue or green. Yeah, that's easily changed. We can do blue for now. Green was nice though. Green is, I think I'm gonna go with like, because if I have my yeah, Stalker is super famous. I love Stalkers. Like the first, let's see, Call of Pripyat. I think that's like the. Sorry about the pronunciation, but I played that one. I don't think it's the first Stalker game. The second Stalker game I played, and they're doing, or maybe it's the first one. I'm not sure. Are there even 2? I think there's 2, but they're making Stalker 2 now, aren't they? So maybe it's only 1. But yeah, no, I've seen like video footage of the new Stalker, because they are making a new Stalker game, and that looks awesome. and the setting is actually amazing. I love that setting. Village is great, but also has scary parts. Yeah, that's probably what I'm a bit afraid of. But it looks like I watched some streams of it from Fighting Cowboy, I think. It's like there's one part with this. So sorry if it's spoiler, but there's one part with this like child monster that is chasing you, and you have to avoid it or get swallowed whole by it, and it's just completely disgusting. Yeah, I think there's like plenty of because there's the Stalker games obviously inspired like a lot of cool games, because you have, what is it called? Chernobylite is obviously Stalker inspired. I haven't played Chernobylite, but it looks good. And also you have Stalker 2 coming, and there's another one called it's like by some indie developers. They made it, looks really good. It's like it's supposed to be like a half MMO based game. It's a little bit misspelled, the title, because they couldn't name it the original word. What's it called? Stalker inspired game. It's not really released yet. Open world here, ESO.
Welcome back. My name is
Pioneer,
ESO,
yeah.
and today we're
Pioneer. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's actually, I mean, do you disable it being able to be damaged after you have successful an attack or AI? Yeah, Chernobylite is one. Well, I can I can show you maybe. Do I have? Well, I don't really handle it already. How do you deal with AI taking damage? I apply damage from each attack, and it's not really an issue. I feel like when it comes to taking damage, I basically only do exactly what Dark Souls does. So it's not really like the Ubisoft games and stuff like that, but Dark Souls is very, very mechanically friendly. So it's just, you never really disable damage except when you're in like an execution animation or something. And I just replay the animation. So you have a hit animation, and whenever you hit that AI, you keep hitting them and they keep taking damage. So let's see if I have something where I can maybe show you. We have this old guy. Yeah, I see. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a balancing issue, and I completely understand that one. And people usually say that Dark Souls is hard, and in my opinion, it's not really hard. It just takes a while to learn, but once you learn and understand all the mechanics, it's actually super easy. And one of the reasons is, as you say, because you can easily spam down enemies, because you also don't want them to be too spongy, because spongy enemies are the most, it's like the, in my opinion, spongy enemies are like the pinnacle of bad game design. We talked about Resident Evil earlier, and I actually feel like a lot of the times enemies are too spongy in those games. That's one of the major issues I have with them. But as you say, either, I would say, like game design wise, I would say like either you solve them being easily killed by not making them alone, and that's like what Dark Souls does a lot of the time, because one-on-one most enemies are super easily killed. But the thing that Dark Souls does very well is that even though the enemies are easily killed by themselves, they are rarely by themselves. And the other thing is with the poise mechanic that they use is if you can, because as you say, like maybe you want to introduce some kind of poise mechanic that is like, okay, once you hit them once, they get staggered. You hit them twice, they get an easier stagger animation that is not as long, and the third time maybe they are immune to stagger or or something. You could also go depending on what game you make, you could also exactly Murlocs in WoW. And you can also go Murlocs, never-ending Murlocs. I feel like everybody vanilla WoW is like probably most of my deaths to random Murlocs. What was I about to say? Like the way Hades handles it is quite cool. Is you give some characters, you give like hyper armor straight from the beginning, so you have to finish through that hyper armor for them to actually be staggered, and that's actually a good way to not be able to spam down all of the enemies. And I mean, stamina in itself, a stamina meter is a way to actually handle that, because you can't spam more than your stamina actually allows. But if you don't want, I understand why people don't want to use stamina meters as well. So that's, yeah, it's a balancing thing, because you absolutely don't want to counter it by making your enemy spongy, because that's gonna make the game annoying to play. So yeah, but I understand your issue. But what I'm doing is, they are, in most of my games, they are actually super spammy. But I tend to just design to never have enemies alone. So if you spam on one enemy and commit too much to that spam, another ranged enemy will just kill you or apply damage to you. No, I don't use behavior trees. I've never used behavior trees actually. Not sure why. It's like, I guess, it's like I've read a bunch of Reddit conversations about it, and I've tested a bunch of stuff myself, and I feel like the reason you should use behavior trees is because it's more performant, but I've just never seen it. So since I've just never seen it, I don't feel like there's a reason to actually use it. But I guess like in the terms, but for some reason, everybody who likes behavior trees and uses behavior trees thinks they are better. So it's probably just me that I don't have a good understanding of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I feel like, for me, I feel like blueprint logic is just way better, because I tend to also not make that complicated AI. I tend to only make them like the most advanced things they do is animations, and then I just let the animations control what happens afterwards. But like my functions are really harder than should they strafe or should they not strafe, or should they block or should they not block, and then you don't really need a behavior tree, I think. I mean, a behavior tree is more for it's to, I would guess if you have like a bunch of actions that the AI can make, and the AI is supposed to prioritize between these actions, then I guess a behavior tree is better. But like, I rarely go that far, so. And also, yeah, also I didn't really put the time into it. Okay, so this is looking a little bit nicer now, I guess. We do want to swap up some things. Maybe make some varied stuff. Maybe make some more like rubble and stuff. I've had a few beers today, so I am getting a little bit tipsy. All right, let's see if we can kind of make it a little bit more varied. We can do some rubble. I mean, we could do maybe a rubble thing here. Something like that. And then we can take maybe something like that. Delete this, delete this. should be like a damaged column somewhere. That's looking all right. Here we go. IK stuff. Yes, I have been working with IK stuff. I've been putting in a bunch of hours into IK stuff. I feel like IK stuff is gonna be a lot more powerful in the 5 version, because I've seen the procedural like jumping animations and procedural like vaulting animations and stuff like that, which is IK driven, I believe. And I've been modifying animations a bunch with IK to make it look nicer. But in the end, I feel like it's not worth it as an indie developer, to be honest, because you're not gonna get that level, or like, of course, but what kind of game do you want to make? I mean, in a top game, this will never require IK like the way this looks, because there's not really any point. You can always match animations anyway, but I feel like it's more important for like a small, maybe if you have a third-person game that is closer to. I feel like that's a hallmark of like AAA studios, and yeah, I feel like Unreal Engine 5 is probably bringing that closer to you without requiring that much actual work, or and also, I mean, there's so many good assets now. Like just 2 years ago when I started, it was like really hard to just set up basic stuff. But now you have like, if we go to the marketplace, you have like a bunch of help with animation. What do we have? We have what's it called? You have this AGR Pro. If you haven't used it or don't know, Merry Christmas and holidays to you too, Shock. Welcome to my first ever stream. So where was I? AGR Pro, like this is a free asset by a guy called Angel V. Also has a YouTube channel, completely recommended if you aren't already looking into it. And it's like a super good free animation helper, which gets around a lot of the IK stuff. And you have like locomotion stuff, like this one. I haven't used this one. This is on my list to actually use. So like if you just look at, because my biggest issue is pretty much locomotion in multiplayer, because I tend to do multiplayer games, and root motion and locomotion is actually quite easy in single player to set up. But I mean, this looks super good, and it's 340 crowns, which is like 34 bucks, and I mean, it looks just amazing, and it's supposed to be to spend too much time to set up the small details by yourself. And I feel like a bunch of times AAA studios probably use assets like this as well, because I feel like I've played a bunch of games that are good, like AAA, and it's like, this looks suspiciously like some kind of asset from the store. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Yeah, Power IK is also awesome. It's a pity that after the release of Elden Ring, yeah, I'm worrying about that as well. It's like, how will I actually? The first is like, I feel like the game will just take my entire life away, so I will probably pause all of my my stuff that I'm doing, and also like I need to record like 50 tutorial videos before I actually start playing, so I can keep uploading even when I'm playing. And I actually, to be honest, I took a week off from work for the first week in March, so that I can just play Elden Ring for a week. Walking on stairs smooth with IK, every game I play gets it right. Well, yeah, and that's, as you say, the Power IK should actually be able to do that. Or when you say smooth, do you mean... because I'm not doing this here, but... did I start? Let's see. I think I have another project open here. Because we have this, I have this third-person project that I've been doing, like this one as well, and I've shown this one before, but I mean the IK is okay. It's not that good. It's not that good. It could be better. Actually, it's shit. Okay, I take that back. Maybe I didn't even do IK here. Yeah, there's probably no IK here. Sorry about that. I thought I had IK, but I didn't. Ascent game uses kobold animations from the marketplace. Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I'm 100% sure, or maybe I'm not 100% sure. And there's no shit about this. But if you played Mortal Shell, it's like, go and play that game. That's of course they use a bunch of animations and stuff from the marketplace, and you can actually see that straight away. And I mean, it's a good game, so I don't mean that as a negative thing at all. It's like, yeah, if you're a small studio, you should actually use assets. You're doing something wrong if you don't use assets. So I feel like that's something that you shouldn't be ashamed about. So this is looking better now. I think this is good. We have some light. It's not that dark. It is still quite dark, but I haven't played Ascent, but I know the game. Do we see this wall? We don't really see that wall. But we should probably make this wall a little bit nicer as well. Yeah, Mortal Shell is cool. It's a nice game. Yeah, 0.1% of gamers can tell. I usually go, like, I follow a bunch of channels that look at new games and stuff. And if you go into Kickstarter, I feel like it's so easy, as like when you do this stuff as a hobby, it's so easy to just tell which projects are like complete fake and which projects are which are actually good. And I feel like a bunch of times I feel like, okay, this looks just like a bunch of, like, I don't want to say asset flip, but it gets way more praise than it should. And it's so easy for us to tell, because I could just go into a random project on Kickstarter and just say, like, okay, this is this asset, this is this asset, this is this asset. But to be honest, it gives me a lot of hope as well, because I watched ESO play a game called Builders of Sherwood or something, and I mean, it's obviously an early development stage, but he seems to like it, and like if that's a super like achievable. A lot of the games that these like Splattercat Gaming and ESO and those play are like very achievable. It's not like super amazing stuff, but it's actually achievable. So that actually gives me and should give solo devs hope. Because a lot of the times I feel like not to brag, but a lot of the times I feel like we could, if we just put some energy, we could easily get to that level, even if we're alone. And I mean, like, just look at, I'm not sure how much you follow this stuff, but I mean, like, just look at Dreamworld and look at these shitty projects that people seems to like anyway. So, I mean, it can't be that alright. But, I mean, I've yet to release a single game, so probably shouldn't talk too much. Muck is amazing though. Muck is like the best game ever. We played it a bunch. It's like, I love those games that are like, I mean, come on, it's like the idea is just, it's just so, the gameplay loop is just so fun, and it's like, yeah, why am I even trying with this like super hard stuff when you can just create Muck? Muck is awesome though. Yeah, I agree. Modifying, like, I try to, like, everything I do is assets. Like, I'm really not a 3D modeler, or like I do try to modify stuff, but it's like I know Blender. I'm not a good 3D artist, but I know Blender. I know it enough to like be able to go in and retexture stuff, and I know it enough to be able to go in and slightly modify like weapons and static meshes, but I'm not really good at skeletal meshes because I always fuck stuff up. But for static meshes, it's so easy to just go in and, like, if you buy like a weapon from Crab Game. I've never gotten into Crab Game, but my flatmate who sits behind me usually, he played a bunch of hours of Crab Game, and I was like, what's happening here? But yeah, to each their own. Yeah, I've seen Lies of P. Yeah. That's one of the games that I'm talking about. That is like, I love that it's done, and I feel like it's manageable. It's like, it's not promising too much. It's like, I see some games that are like Dreamworld and those other games that are like promising these huge open worlds that are looking amazing and yada yada yada, and it's gonna be the best game ever. And then you have games like Lies of P that are like, you can see that it's realistic and it's probably gonna be a good game because they have a lot for the game. Actually, I'm easily gonna play that one. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta make it for the consumers. No, but no, I like Lies of P. There's plenty of those. There's one, what's it called? There's another one just released called, let me see. It's called, I don't remember. Sorry. I try to follow like Souls games because that's my favorite type of games. So we have obviously like Lies of P is coming up. You have the Wukong game, Black Myth, which also looks amazing and is developed by a fairly small team. You have, it's a game where you play like a plague doctor, and you go around and you slash enemies. It's also quite cool. And yeah, you have a bunch of those. But no, Lies of P is probably one that looks most promising. Or like the Wukong game looks super promising, but that's not achievable like by a solo dev. Lies of P is, you have one with I think there's like mechs as well, like Iron something, and you have Bleak Faith is also a game coming up, which is also like a Souls like thing. So it's obviously not let go yet. Like, what is funny though is Souls like is still such a big genre, and from software themselves moved on to this open world, so I'm excited to see like will the standard Souls-like formula die out, or will people continue making this classical Souls-likes? Yeah, but that's pretty much, yeah. I like the way you think there. It's like I'm not aiming for a bunch of money here. I'm aiming for, I just want to make a nice game that I can play with my friends, and if I can grab a little bit of cash to cover my costs for like models and stuff like that, that's fine. I don't need to earn a lot of money. Like I was thinking about like yes, Wukong does use, isn't it? It's the same, right? Where is he? Free. No, not Megascans. It is. I was like, it is suspiciously familiar, but they've changed it a little bit. So, and I mean, I don't mind. That's quite smart of them to find like a good model and do a story around it. But I wonder if it's like if it was like a solo dev. Yeah, it's easily the same one, right? Wukong Black Myth. Let's see. Do we have some gameplay? I mean, it's like it is the same one, right? And it's like no shit. It's a cool gun. Probably the coolest. But yeah, can't blame them. Paragon assets are actually AAA quality, so that's just smart, and they are allowed to do that. So, to be honest, like I feel like if you are gonna do a game, just take a freaking Paragon assets and do a game from that. I mean, like I've even thought about it. Like you have, where is it? Like say you want to make a Souls game with a knight. I mean, you have a freaking knight. I don't really like this model though, but this is good. I mean, this is a freaking knight. This is a good looking knight. So yeah, absolutely. Monkey King from Dota, yeah. Yeah, I play a bunch of Dota as well. But yeah, like I mean, like you could easily do a game. This is a knight. This is a proper freaking knight, and I mean you have some cool like okay, Assassin's Creed, here we go, and you have like a bunch of them that are just super cool. And I mean like here you have a proper like boss in your game. Yeah, the problem though is I guess like you will be a bit limited with animations because the skeleton is weird, so if you don't have like an animator on your team, you can't really create new animations. But the Paragon assets already has a bunch of good animations, so that's not really gonna be an issue. Let's see, what should we do now? These need to go a bit further. Disappear down there, that's good. But yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's the okay. First, that's the downside to Paragon characters. Yeah, that's actually the reason I stopped using them as well. Is like they are a bit heavy, aren't they? And like the shaders and everything, and it's like 4 gig for one character. And I'm like, no, I don't want my project to be that big. So no, it's not. I promise you, it's not about the poo-poo computer. It's like I advanced from a potato computer to this one. This one is. It's not that bad. It's like 3080 Ti, 3070 Ti, I think, 3080, and it's like it's a good computer, like above the average at least, and like it still takes a while to compile shaders for the Paragon characters. So, like for I've used them in a couple of the tutorials, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pause the video, and then I have to wait for 20 minutes to actually keep doing the video. And yeah, I agree. I also prefer like if you. Like this guy I have here, for instance, my character, he's a modeler. Like if we go into him, I do also enjoy, it's like, yes, I do. So this is my knight, and it's like this, the helm is from one pack, it's from the Gothic Knight pack. And the chest is from my heavy armor set. The gloves are from another armor set, and the legs are from a Dark Knight set. So it's like it's all made of different parts that work decently well together. And then I've just tried to match like the textures, and so like I've just changed the variables and stuff on the textures so that they match each other fairly good. I'm not super happy with it, to be honest. I feel like it's still. There still could be better improvements, but as a top-down game, it works all right. Yeah. You mean, yeah, exactly, yeah. But to be honest, there's a bunch of people that still enjoy Paragon, or they're like, I've seen some threads on Reddit where people want it back and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. I think that's why the point failed as well. Maybe Epic was actually mining crypto, nobody knows. There's a fun like thing that you can install on your laptop, which is like a tiny duck that walks around and chases the mouse and stuff. But the GPU usage of it is like insane, so it's obviously mining crypto. And yeah, Book of Maxing stuff is amazing. I actually have a lot of his stuff. I mean, yeah, I did this 14 Orcs pack and everything, and it's like it's quality stuff, and it's actually super cheap, so absolutely good, especially if you're like a beginner and wanna start. Most of it is aligned to the Epic Skeleton as well, so yeah. And he has a bunch of modular things. Like I use a lot of Polyphoria, but it's like it's pricey. But they ask quality wise, these assets are like the best on the Epic marketplace easily. So as you can see, like for instance, I use this chest for my knight and everything. I try to like not make it look exactly like this so that it's not super easily spottable, but it still is a little bit. But like the chest from that. But it's pricey though, so I understand if people like I work full time with like a standard job, and I earn decent money on that, so I can burn all my money on alcohol on the weekends and 3D models on the normal days. But yeah, it's an expensive hobby if you want to do it nicely. But also like just wait and you get stuff. It's like never, like thumb rule on Epic Marketplace is pretty much never buy something that are not on a sale, and just hold your thumbs and wait for it to be free. It's like yeah, I saw that earlier today actually. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Which is like nice. I could probably use this in my third person tutorial. No, not, yeah. Can I just grab, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I can probably use this for my third. Actually, I like the hat. Okay, thank you, Burg of Maxim, for the character. Let's comment. Write a review. Thanks. Thanks for the awesome Christmas gift. You can't really use emotes here, no? Smiley. 5 stars, as always. Woohoo! No, I feel like he's... Ah, yeah. Oh my god, time flies. And I mean, it's soon a new year. It's like 22. Oh my god. Like, to be honest, let's see. When did I upload my first YouTube video of Unreal? The first video was, I think it was like 2 years ago. Probably 3 years ago. Let's see. Okay, my first video of Gamedev is... Okay, can you see? This is my first Gamedev video upload with a problem I had with a delay in my roll animation. I was using Unity at the time. To be honest, it's not that far off from like what I'm doing right now. There is no cloth physics on the cape though. I mean, it's not that far from like what I'm doing now. But yeah, no, time flies like insanely fast. So this was September 7, 2019, almost 3 years ago. Oh wait, 19, 20, 21, yeah. So it's a long time ago. Asset Flip Deluxe. No, and I think that's why I jumped to Unreal, because like I made that, I worked on that project for a while, and you can see like how it looks visually, and then I jumped into Unreal, and I mean, and I started working with the Paragon characters, and I mean the quality was just amazing. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick with Unreal. And I mean, like visually, it's I feel like the asset quality in Unreal is amazing. I mean, this looks good in my opinion. All right, I'm just gonna move this out, this out. Okay, we need to create this door. This door needs to be better. Room exit. I could never understand why people use Unity. I guess people use Unity because I think this is my take on it. Don't take my word for it, but I guess people use Unity because the overhead is less. So an Unreal game will always have a bunch of overhead because the engine itself is fairly heavy. So if you're making like a mobile game or a 2D platformer, I think Unity is probably better because there's less overhead. Exactly the size of the engine, yeah. So I guess that's why people use Unity more, because especially if you want to make a mobile game, that's probably better on Unity. And like for like Celeste, for instance, I don't think you could make Celeste in Unreal because the response needs to be like so perfect. So maybe it is made in Unreal and I'm talking shit. Celeste game engine. They probably made their own game engine, but what's a game like Celeste made in? XNA. I'm not even sure what that is. Next year. Yeah, you know, a year ago I said I would have an alpha to my game on to my friends. That never came. Yeah, exactly. In better terms of 2D games. I think so as well, because as I said, the overhead is better, so you don't really expect a 2D game to be. Yeah, it probably is, but I think in comparison to Unity, I mean Unreal only C++ in comparison to Unity with only what's it called? C#? No, C# is C++. No. Sorry, I'm getting drunk. I think Unity is still having less of an overhead. I think that's the reason, yeah. Yeah, made with Unity logo, yeah. I think Battlegrounds. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think isn't Battlegrounds made in Unity? I think so. Or PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Okay, room exits. We're gonna create some doors. Do we have any doors? How do I need to get some doors? Ah, okay, it was made in Unreal. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's cool, yeah. Maybe that's why it's not very performant. Yeah, I agree. UE4 is easily a lot better to work with as a 3D artist, yeah. I mean, like UE4 is amazing for 3D artists and stuff because it's so easy to just be an amazing artist and then set up a really good scene and even make like basic game functions for your scene without knowing anything about programming and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely, Unreal is unbeatable when it comes to artists working with it. C# makes me crazy, yeah. Like I'm really not a programmer, to be honest. Like I work with sales. Like I'm a sales manager in real life when I don't do this. So this is only like hobby stuff, and I'm completely self-learned, and I'm really not a programmer at all. It's owned by Tencent, okay. Yeah, I didn't know. No, I know I know Fortnite is owned by Tencent, obviously, and I knew Epic Games is owned by Tencent, but yeah, maybe it's smart of them to compete with themselves. Blueprint, yeah, super underrated. I mean, I'm fairly sure Mortal Shell is made completely from blueprints. So like when I started with it, I read like a bunch of Reddit threads and people like asking about how performance friendly it is and stuff like that, but I've not seen any issues with that, to be honest. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, but now I feel like blueprints, since you can nativize it, like as long as you just nativize it, it's fine. I feel like the graphics is gonna be, it's not gonna be the blueprints, like the performant things of your game is not gonna be the blueprints. Maybe if you, like, as long as you think a little bit of your performance, like I try to avoid event ticks and stuff like that. But I feel like it's still gonna be the graphics that slows your games down. I mean, what do I have now? Like, yeah, I mean, like this basic scene should not be 90. Like it should be 160 FPS, I think. But yeah, these are horrible in terms of. I have 6,000 triangle or 7,000 vertices on a single floor tile. So that's completely insane. Oops. Okay, do we have some doors? I mean, I need to get some doors, man. I want like these big, awesome, or should I just have a gate maybe? look at that. This is a door. Let's use these. Wooden gate. No. Is it only half? Ah, that's annoying. No, it's not a height map. No, yeah, these are. I'm not gonna be able to use these. It's prototyping. I mean, it still doesn't affect the FPS that much. And I mean, if I just use LUTs, I think there's LUTs, so it should probably be fine. There's no LUTs on them now, though. But no, it's not a height. No, I know this is suicide. Don't do this. Don't do 7,000 vertices on a single floor tile. Yeah, I'm an expert on blueprint spaghetti though, so. Yeah. Well, what Shock says is true, and this is like one of my own cardinal sins, is like I don't divide things up enough. I just tend to put all of my logic in the player character, and then I'm happy with it because it's working, and then I get an issue, and then I never really know where the problem is. Now, polycount maybe won't be a problem in UE5, but this is still UE4, and UE5 is probably... I would say UE5 is like 3 years away from being actually viably usable. So if you plan to release your game in 2024, maybe I would say go ahead and use UE5, but before that I would say it's not good, because you will also lengthen your production timeline a bunch by using UE5 at this point, because it's like, just from doing the tutorial series that I'm doing now, the third-person shooter one, there's like so many issues that I bump into from UE5, and like I get annoyed, super annoyed. Like I try to not let it go through the videos, but sometimes I just lose it in the videos as well, because there's like so many basic functions that actually should work. Hopefully I will be. But yeah, exactly, yeah, and the thing is, what Fenderben says is completely true. Is like, start working in UE4 now, continue to work with UE4, because it's a working product. You can release your product if you end up in that point. And I mean, I feel like it's too easy to also say like, okay, polycount won't matter. I feel like it's too easy. Maybe it's true, but there's also nothing wrong with thinking a little bit about optimization. So and maybe UE5 will have a bunch more overhead or stuff like that. Yeah, and as you say, Rise, and that's 2013. And then, to be honest, I've never really, like, when I GPU profile, I rarely feel like the polycount is the problem. Like, maybe too high resolution textures. Like, if you use 8K textures for everything, you will have a problem. Right, I just need to go to the bathroom and grab a new beer. Matrix demo in Unreal 5, and it's really, yes, I've seen it. It's actually looks really. Whoa, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it looks amazing. I heard the movie though, the new Matrix movie. It's shit, apparently. Whoops. That's what I heard. But can't speak for it because I haven't seen it. But yeah, looks really good. But I feel like it's like, is that really gameplay? Like, if it is true gameplay in the Matrix, in that, then obviously it's really cool. But it looks a bit scripted, so I'm not sure. Just gotta make a roguelike survival muck-like. Muck-like, that's the new genre. That's gonna be all the games in the future, muck-likes. I'm Reishi. Hello, thanks for tuning in. Trying to get a better understanding of Unreal. I want to also dive into Blender and create assets. Well, when I started, like, I jumped into Blender and I jumped into to Unity, and it's gonna be hard to have time to do both. Like, if you want to be good at both Blender and an engine, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you need a lot of spare time. But I guess it depends on what you want to do. If you want to make, I mean, we have a game like Muck, as we previously said, like Shock AB, and I've been talking about Muck. Amazing game, actually. It's free. Everybody should play it. And I mean, go ahead. You can Blenderize that. You can do that in Blender as much as you want to. But like creating I'm learning this in school now to try to make something and realize it's harder part no matter how good it is. Yeah, that's the thing. Usually, the thing is, Blender is, I would say, like, Blender is, to be honest, a more useful program to know. Like, if you're looking into working with this stuff, you're probably better off being good at Blender than being good at Unreal Engine. Because Blender also has a bunch of work stuff that is not related to any engine. It's easier to work with, like, for other things and art-wise and things. So I would say Blender is the superior program in when you talk about, like, work and things like that. But I'm gonna be cheesy here and say do what you think is most fun. And if you're gonna do a single player game, I guess you can manage both. I guess 99% of my problems are because of replications and multiplayer stuff. But if I did a single player game, I would be finished way earlier. So most problems are always from multiplayer, I feel like, when it comes to game logic. It's never from single player, because single player stuff are so straightforward. Learning this in school now to make something and release it is the hardest part. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, releasing is freaking hard. I mean, like, you can be the best person in the world on Unreal, and I mean, the skill itself is to actually manage your own time, and to actually stick to a project. That's a skill on its own. It, like, doesn't really matter how good you are in the engine itself if you can't really do those two things. And, like, I'm cardinal sinning on the sticking to one project, because I'm doing like 5 projects at the same time. So yeah, Zomboid, I've seen that. I've not played it, but I've seen it. I didn't know it was multiplayer, but if it is, that's cool. I like those types of games. What were we doing? We were doing a gate. Wooden gates. I feel like this is not epic enough. We need more epic gates. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, to be honest, like, I'm so stupid myself, because, like, when I started, everybody, like, I read a bunch of threads. I read up on it. I watched a bunch of videos, and everybody said, like, the first thing you do a single player thing, and that was 3 years ago. And I've only tried to do multiplayer stuff, and I've yet to release anything. So, and it's mostly because I actually don't get anywhere with. I get stuck on multiplayer stuff all the time. I think they will actually release everything on. Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, I absolutely think that Epic will release the entire project. If they are, I mean, I'm fairly sure I read about it. Let's see. It's not here yet, but I'm fairly sure it says somewhere that they will release it on the marketplace. It's that old though. YOLO open world there, RPG MMO. Yeah, those are the best projects. I mean, like, I think probably half of all the indie game devs that exist started out by saying, like, I'm gonna make this great MMORPG. I mean, I had the thought myself, but then I just realized that's not realistic. So, yeah. And I mean, like, I'm still doing unrealistic stuff. I mean, like, maybe a project like this is more manageable, but the other stuff I've done is way too fricked up. Are my friends still playing? What was I doing? I was doing something. Doors. I was making doors. I need doors. Can we have an epic door? No, this is not epic enough. Gate. I need like a big fantasy cool gate. Does this have a... That's a big epic cool fantasy gate though. Is that really a gate? Give gate please. That's more like a window. I'm gonna make a better world like New World, but better. Did you guys play New World? I was super excited for New World, and I actually played it up to level 50. Level 56 I got to, but I never got to 60, and I dropped it. I think I dropped it when I was waiting for the respawn of a mob for like 4 days, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna wait for this. So yeah, but to be honest, like the New World, like in terms of setting and the world, it's the art team made an amazing job in New World. The world is amazing, but even though it's repetitive, it's still good. But yeah, no, the game itself wasn't really working out for me. I'm trying to make a multiplayer game as a fairly new beginner, but man, it's hard for me to replicate stuff like attacking and yeah, that's the struggle. I mean, just keep going at it. Like, I brute force my replication issues, and I mean, like, I'm managing, but even when I'm doing the tutorials, I still, like, anytime there's an issue, there's a 90% chance it's being a replication issue, because you never really know. Like, even if you're good at it, you're still never really sure what replicates automatically and what doesn't. And I guess, like, what I could do better is break it down to smaller replicated function. I think that's like the core of it. Like, if you want to rotate a character, you can rotate it on the client, or like you can make the entire function on the client, but the rotation itself should be replicated. But yeah, no. I mean, I dream about how easy it would be to make a single player game in comparison. Volumetric clouds. Actually, like, have you tried? Aren't there there are new volumetric clouds to Unreal though, and I think those are quite good actually. I haven't tried them myself because I haven't really done in an open environment like that. But but to be honest, Red Dead Redemption 2 is an amazing looking game, so I'm not surprised that it looks that good. And I mean, like, if you look at, yeah, no, it looks amazing, that game. So single player or 3-5 player couch co-op, yeah. I dropped at 47 because I wanted to get back to depth. I beat you then. No. I love that everybody says that the audio is amazing in New World, and I actually agree. We were like 15 people in our friend group that started playing together, and everybody just commented like spontaneously on how good the audio was. So yeah, I would give the audio team like like the biggest applause. And to be honest, like since I played it, I've been putting a bunch more hours into actually learning Audacity, which is free audio software, to actually make better sound, because I realized how important sound actually is for a game to be nice. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, classic. I don't use ALS. I've been messing around with ALS a lot, and it's good, but not for multiplayer, and not from a performance perspective. I don't think it's very good. Like, if you absolutely need everything in there, go ahead and use it. But there's a bunch of stuff that just goes on tick, not on tick, but on the animation blueprint update and stuff like that, and on tick as well, I think. So ALS is good, but I would be careful about like the performance with it, and I also would be careful, as it's like learning ALS is like learning Unreal from scratch. It's like a game engine in the game engine, so that's also an issue. There's still a huge market cap for SP games. Yes, absolutely. I don't think SP games will ever go away, and whoever says this is wrong. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing SP games. The only reason I want to do a multiplayer game is because I want to play it with some of my friends, and that's the thing. But I played, like, probably the majority of the games I play single player, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, no. Eric Cruz, cool. You can be cool. The clouds look off, I guess you mean. You can, but they look off. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I've never spent that much time actually looking at the sky, so I'm not sure. That's one of those things that I'm like, why? Like, but why? But yeah, I guess if you want to make something hyper realistic, yes. I haven't played around with the volumetric clouds in Unreal, so I'm not really sure. Meta sound is great too. I have to look that up. I don't know. Yeah, hearing someone mining from a mile away. Yeah, it's like the volume. Yeah, it's like the spatial audio they are using is amazing. V-Vice for audio. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about V-Vice, however it's pronounced. It's just Vice, right? Vice audio. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you should know, but you don't really have the time for. So I'm just like, oh, that's not gonna happen. Meta sound, is that the okay? I mean, to be honest, I feel like I just use the normal, like the what's it called? Attenuation settings, and I feel the attenuation, it works good. I mean, it works way better than people expect. But yeah, no, I mean, It would have, but sound is like one of those things that you're like, oh, I wish this would be done automatically, but it's not gonna be done automatically. So it's like, oh, but it's just annoying because that's like an entirely new proficiency. It's like as an indie dev, it sucks because okay, I'm learning right now Audacity. I know Blender, I know Unreal. I'm trying to learn blueprints, and like I watched a bunch of videos and stuff on UI design, and I learned Photoshop purely for this and everything. And I mean, it's a lot, so it's hard, obviously. And like my skills on all of those are subpar at best, but I feel like I can actually make myself a decent UI now at least. So yeah, I think I watch pretty much all of the GDC talk videos. It's like whenever a new one comes out, I watch it. I feel like a lot of people watch, a lot of people listen to podcasts and stuff like that, but I devour the GDC talks instead. I'd say like 90% of my audio listening time, like when I walk to work and stuff like that, is GDC. It's Rasputin on YouTube, and it's what's it called? Game Maker's Toolkit, and the Architect of Games. That's like 3 YouTube channels you should follow. Is I'm gonna bring them up. Let's see, Rasputin. So YouTube channels you should follow: Rasputin, Gamedev, super good. Game Maker's Toolkit, should follow, and Adam Millard, Architect of Games, should follow. So all of these are channels that you absolutely should follow if you're trying to get into game dev. Where's the stream? There it is, yeah. And obviously, yeah, GDC. Follow GDC and watch all of the talks there. Or maybe not all of them, but some are better, some are worse, but they're all pretty amusing. Okay, I've been trying to make this door for a while now. It goes like semi-good, I would say. Okay, this is gonna be the door for now. At least we have a door. Okay, let's bring this in. Or is this one better? No. There we go. 2 doors. They don't look very epic, these doors. We need more epic doors, but they're fun for now. Placeholder doors. Oh, that should be fine. I feel bad for my classmates. They all failed. Yeah, I can imagine. I just finished a color design. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like game development, indie game devs are probably amongst the most amazing people in the world, because you do so much freaking stuff. I mean, you do a bunch of stuff that you shouldn't. I mean, there's no other work in the world where people actually know all of this. The pure amount of knowledge contained in one indie developer is like insane. When it comes to like audio design, visual design, level design. I mean, okay, we need to learn level design, we need to learn UI design, we need to learn audio design, we need to learn game design, we need to learn coding. I mean, that's 5 topics that all of them own are like one, like a full-time work. Yeah. Devon Scott, hello there. Yes, a live stream, my first ever. It's a Christmas game dev and chill stream. Happy holidays to all. One guy cried because he dreamed of doing this, but he didn't even have a PC. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. No, that's really harsh. Yeah, tough life. Life isn't easy. That's for sure. Spend all of your money on a PC. Oh, that's harsh. Missed most classes trying to find. Oh my god. We're oh, that's harsh, man. That's where are you taking the classes? What country? US? No? Add some particle effects to the doors. Yes, we will absolutely add particle effects and awesome sound effects. But I feel like the doors themselves actually need to be more epic. I mean, these look too flat. Canada, Vancouver. Okay, I feel like Canada is one of those countries that are like Sweden in a way. Like feels fairly equal and stuff like that. I mean, in Sweden, to be honest, like you get paid to actually, or maybe you don't get paid, but the loaning schemes are so good for actually doing courses and stuff like that. So you pretty much get paid from actually studying. So, which is a bit unfair, I guess. Okay. These are good placeholder doors. Let's go with them. So, if the door is not open, it needs to open. How should I do this? Yeah, it's still alone. I mean, in Sweden, people just continue to study for a long time. It's like you have people studying just to study because they're supposed to study. Like, I never did that, but you have a bunch of people who just, like, after high school or whatever it's called, people just study random stuff just because they are supposed to study something, and then after 1 or 2 years they realize, okay, this is not what I want to study, and then they just start studying something else. And I mean, yeah, I feel like people take it, it's still a loan. It's a good loan, but it's still a loan. So, okay, I need to figure out what I've done here. Master player character, E. Also, I'm getting fairly drunk, so it's getting hard for me to actually follow along what I've done. Let me just go here, inputs. Okay, custom services. Okay, this is good because I can actually use this. Functions, custom event, server, move, server, open door. Oh my god, that's good times, yeah. In Holland you get a loan, but if you finish the course you won't have to pay back. Oh my god. My flatmate, one of my flatmates is Dutch, from Amsterdam. But yeah, no, awesome. I feel like there's a bunch of countries in the world that are just lucky, like Sweden, like Holland, and like, so yeah. No, that's insane. But I mean, probably good, no? Or maybe not. I mean, doesn't that mean that you could technically just study forever and just never have to pay it back and just always just finance yourself on studying? It's like, is there no maximum limit? Okay, it was 2016, so I guess why I guess why they changed it. MC move door. Damn. So I'm drinking these beers, and I got them from my father as a Christmas gift, and he loves Belgian beer. And I mean, I can't find a single one that is below 8%. So this is a Saint Bernardus triple. So yeah, it's good. Server open door. Okay, let's do this. Let's open this door. MC open. Let's call it open door. Okay. Yeah, makes sense that it wasn't for free for everything. That would have been insane. 10%. Why is the Belgian beer always so strong? It's insane. I think I got one that was like 14. Yeah, it begins at 7%. I agree. Yeah, the thing is, shock, obviously. Disappointed at your 5%. The thing is, in Sweden we have, like, we have a bunch of beers that are physics store. What do you mean with physics store? I mean, we can make a door work in multiplayer, but you mean you actually push it with physics. If you mean to actually push it with physics, I would. Yes, it's possible, but probably. That's a good question. Actually, it's absolutely possible, but I'm not sure how good it will work. Or I mean, it will work, but physics is one of those annoying things to actually replicate. But no, it will work. I mean, like I'm a revolving door probably. Maybe not like an. I mean, since the physics actually work like physics in the engine, you actually need to create it from scratch. So yeah, it's absolutely possible. I'm not great with physics stuff, but I mean, if you just get a cylinder, so that cannot be affected by physics, and then you have to, I guess you have to actually model it. I mean, why would you need C++ for that? Physics door. Let me think. Why would that? I feel like it should work fairly easily, no? I mean, physics aren't they replicated from the start? It's just that it doesn't go to the same way. But if you I mean, I'm not great with this part, but my understanding of it is this: the physics themselves are fairly replicated, so it's not an issue of physics here. The issue with physics is that there's so small. The issue with physics and replication is that there's so small things that affect where stuff will roll and where it will land and stuff like that. So, say for instance that you have a physics-based embodiment system. So I slice your head off on an NPC. The head will flow off on both the client and the server, but they won't land on the same places because there's a small bit of difference between the client and the server. So the physics will work on both of them. The same with ragdolls. It will work on both of them. The issue with a door is probably less because it's going to be fairly restricted. Yeah, if you want, yeah, exactly, yeah. If you want to restrict it, you will have to manually C++ code it, but you don't need to in this way. I don't think so, because the door is gonna be limited anyway. So I mean, the issue would be if the door starts flying off the hinge, but as long as it doesn't do that, I mean, I can try to set it up at some point. I'm not good at physics though. But I feel like it should work fairly easily. I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a problem. I mean, I've done ragdolls and stuff in physics, and it works. Yeah, it should work. I'm not sure how though, but there's definitely a way to do it. I mean, like, do you have if you have a physics door working in single player, it should actually work in multiplayer as well. It's just that the door is gonna not be at the same place as it is on the client and server at all times. So there might be a bit of an issue there. That's the reason, for instance, like if you do a multiplayer, what's it called, like destructible objects, when the things collide, and if you do it in multiplayer, characters can jitter a lot because the pieces aren't on the same place in the client and the server. But the physics of it is actually working. And it's not working. Okay, yeah, you do have it working in single player, and it's not working at all in multiplayer. Or because I feel like it should work out of the box now. I mean, I've done plenty of like physics boxes and stuff like that, and it's been working in both multiplayer and single player. But they've not, like, when I've done like I've done a physics box that you push with your character, and that's been working in multiplayer as well. But there was a slight difference, like when falling down from objects, there was a slight difference between this client and the server. But the physics itself worked. And I mean, yeah, exactly. It works, but it's not accurate. Yeah, that's gonna be the issue. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, it's not gonna be accurate. No, that's the issue. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, in that case, I'm not sure. I've had like I've done like I did a small puzzle project where like the player capsule pushed a box, and I had that for multiplayer and it worked. But sometimes like when the client pushed the box, it entered the trigger collision before the server and stuff like that. So no, it wasn't accurate. But yeah, no, it's not really accurate. No, I agree. I'm not sure then. I've not done a bunch. I haven't really done a bunch of physics, so I'm too afraid to answer that in like a proper way. Basic physics, yes, but physics is I think it's known to be like annoyingly replicated. I tend to stay away from it because it's hard to control. Before I did like destructible barrels and stuff like that, but because of the physics on the pieces I stopped doing it because it was just annoying. Room exit. Okay, the door. I tend to forget the door. This is the slowest door ever made in Unreal though. No, it's not going to be here. It's going to be in the room exit. Same for weapon physics on the character. I added, and sometimes the weapon just falls off the back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in those tutorials, I don't use physics really. If you have physics enabled, yes, it will fall off the back. I guess it will. But there's an issue. Like I know like plenty of tutorials, and me myself as well. Like if you don't disable the collision, or like the way I set it up in my like RPG tutorial series and stuff like that, is if because you have a weapon which is a static mesh attached to your player character, and if you don't disable the collision between attacks, even if you don't deal damage, like when you attack something, they might sometimes just fly away because of the physics collision. So it's really annoying actually. Okay, this is the wrong way to do it. Server set actor rotation. MC set actor rotation. Set actor rotation. And target and actor. and rotation and target and rotation. And then we need a custom event, and we need to call it event open door. Sean Kevin, the For Honor series had this. Yes, it had. I'm a bit sad. I accidentally deleted the For Honor tutorial, or I switched computers, and I just accidentally removed that project as well. So I'm a bit sad about that, but it was amazingly buggy. There was like a bunch of bugs everywhere, but I feel like the core of it was quite cool, and I kind of want to do that again because it's such a nice system, and I really love For Honor as well. So I feel like For Honor is the best Ubisoft game ever made. I mean, for once they got it right. I got some issues with a weapon attaching to my character with a physical animation. Yeah, collision, yes, just disable collision. Like, you never need collision enabled on your weapons. Like, never. Like, apart from maybe if you do damage by collision, yes, enable it during those small seconds when you're actually overlapping, but just disable it. Mountain Blade this time, yeah. Actually, I want to play Mordhau. I didn't really play Mordhau either. And I've not played Mountain Blade either, but I want to play those games a little bit more. So yeah, absolutely should. I need to play through a couple of those games, and then I need to do a tutorial of it. Mountain Blade combat. How is the Mountain Blade combat? How combat works? Is it also directional?
Balanced and 80%. I know this was a lot to take in, but all you really need to take away from all of this stuff I've just told you is that it's just very important on when you land your attack in the animation. You can get really proficient with your weapon if you can 9 times out of 10 land your strike in the green zone. You'll be doing a lot more.
Yeah, it looks really nice actually. Yeah, I mean, I need to play those games. I played what's it called? There's another one, a Chinese one, I think. Oh, getting drunk. Ooh. Yes, alright, I think I'm gonna jump out. I'm getting very drunk, and also I'm gonna play some Dota. And 1 second, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna jump. My friends are bothering me about playing some Dota, so I'm gonna do that because I promised to do that. And this was pretty much a test stream just to see how it works, and it works. Seems to have been working quite nice. But yeah, maybe I'll do some more streams. Nice to talk to you at least. It's always nice to talk like instantly without actually talking through a video comment section. So it's always nice, and nice there was a couple of you tuning in, and I guess like Merry Christmas because it's Swedish Christmas Eve, and yeah, see you next time. And as always, comments and give me suggestions of stuff to do. You've given me a bunch of fun info that I can actually use in future videos as well about things I want to do. I want to do the Bandlord thing. That sounds amazing. And yeah, see you soon. Merry Christmas.